Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to look at the issue of the parable of Matthew 25. And Brother Jason asked me to check this out with Kim. And there is another rapture. Some people, other people get raptured. Clearly, you see in Revelation 7 and then Revelation 14, 144,000 up in heaven. So that's how they likely got up there. Is the rapture type thing. And then, of course, you've got the two witnesses that we see going up. So, but that's not related to Matthew 25. And so we'll look. A parable is a story. If you want to go book on figures of speech, go figure. Introduction to Figures of Speech in the Bible by Julia B. Hands. And a parable is meant to give using comparison, a point, story, hit a certain point, and without pressing every detail. Now, if the Lord gives you details of certain parables, well, that's fine. That's exactly what the point is being made, then, because the Lord is telling you that. But if the Lord is not telling you every specific point, then just go with the story and what the point, the main point is. A parable is an extended comparison in story form, usually with one main point of comparison. And it says here, many books have been written about parables, those occurring in the Bible, those in general literature. As such, there are many different opinions about the definition of this figure of speech, sometimes also called a rhetorical device. However, despite the diversity of definitions, most agree that a parable is a story with an extended comparison, usually with one main point of comparison. Bollinger describes a parable as a story with a hidden meaning without pressing in every detail. And that's the crucial point, without pressing in every detail. The idea of a comparison. So you can't get bogged down in every detail unless the Lord's actually giving you a point to what those details are. And that's why people will go off on tangents in these issues, in these parables. So this is who are the 10 virgins in Matthew 25. See here. So
we're very spoiled. We're very spoiled. Once you study and learn, you'd be surprised how much you know. All right. Now, first, let's prove two cases here. We know that the bride of Christ is referring to the church. Now, a lot of people don't get that. There are some hyper-dispensationalists who do not get that either, which is extremely sad and shameful. So, if you truly are a dispensationalist, you got to realize this. The church is the bride of Christ. Now, to prove this will be based off of the book of Ephesians. So I'm not going to get all over that. But Ephesians chapter 5 proves that the bride of Christ is the church. Now, there's going to be a thing called the weddings.
There's nothing in here saying that the 10 virgins are actual represent anything, except the fact that the Lord is giving a comparison of these 10 virgins as a sense of saying, those who are not going to be ready and those who are going to be ready. That's all. That's all. So these guys want to take it into another area. Who are these 10 virgins? Well, the virgins are representative of people in the tribulation period, some who will be ready and some who will not for the Lord's return. And there's some who have been saved and some who will not, because they weren't expecting that return. Comparison in Matthew 24 is Noah's day. Same thing. They were eating and drinking, getting married, taking marriage, giving marriage, and then the flood came. That's the point of this story, not who 10 virgins are.
Marriage supper of the Lamb. The marriage supper of the Lamb. In the marriage supper of the Lamb, you are the bride that's going to get married to Jesus Christ. But what you're going to notice right here is that it's not just the bride and the groom. There are virgins following. Like, remember in wedding ceremonies, you notice that you'll see the bridesmaids.
Yeah, friends of the bride. But it has nothing to do with Matthew 25. So.
The virgins following along. And then, the bride tosses the flower back, and then the lucky virgin picks it up so that she can meet her husband next time. So where does all this come from? You got to realize that the Bible already showed you way ahead concerning about this. These virgins, what you're going to notice right here is that they are not married to Jesus Christ. Instead, they are bridesmaids trying to help out in the wedding. Now, who are these bridesmaids? These are...
They're expecting the King of Heaven. They're waiting for the Lord's return, second advent.
Tribulation saints. So the church saints, so we see the church is the bride. Now let's make it more specific so you can get it. Church age saints. So these are saints in the church age. Whereas saints in the...
The issue of this parable isn't about finding out who the bride, these virgins are. The issue in the parable is, watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. That's the point of the parable. Not for trying to figure out who these virgins are. The virgins are just those who are making decisions representing people in tribulation who are going to be ready for the Lord's return and get saved, and other people who aren't.
Tribulation, they're going to be the bridesmaids. They are the virgins. Now look at Matthew chapter 25. This is where we get the parable of the 10 virgins. This is where you get your rapture that's conditional. It's not an unconditional rapture. Christian church...
That's baloney. The two groups taken up, 144,000 are sealed, and the two witnesses, of course, are saved. There's no conditional part about them. This is not about an issue of the rapture. It has nothing to do with the rapture. This is where these guys go off and just make this stuff up to the top of their heads.
Church, they go up to be in heaven with Jesus Christ no matter what. Now, I'm not going to get to all those verses, but that's based off of 1 Thessalonians chapter...
Buckman has a note here talking about these Jewish male virgins, meaning 144,000, show up in the tribulation. Their salvation is connected with works. Revelation 12:17. These are 12,000 from each tribe, and they're sealed. They have the Father's name on their foreheads. Which is why some of them can lose it. Last I saw, all 144,000 went in heaven. They didn't lose anybody. They were sealed. They were sealed. That means they had eternal security.
4 proves that anyone that is in Jesus Christ, who believed on Christ, they get raptured. So that's the only condition, is you believed on Christ. It has nothing to do with your works. But in Matthew 25, you're going to notice it does depend upon your work.
Chapter 14, Revelation 14. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his Father's name written in their foreheads. That's the same group, 144,000 from Revelation 7.
Verse 1, then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish.
Revelation 7. And I heard a number of them which were sealed. And they were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes and children of Israel. It's not conditional. They're sealed. They couldn't lose their security. These are idiotic. These people, man.
They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. See, through careful work, they made sure to maintain their oil in their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you, but go ye rather to them that sell, and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Afterward came also the other...
The door was shut. How does that mind you? Noah's Ark. The door was shut. That's the issue going on here. The fact that in the tribulation period, the Lord's going to come back suddenly. So you better get saved.
The virgin saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not. Watch therefore, for
That's the point. Now we're getting to the point of the parable.
ye know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. See, there's a famous rapture verse
There's
used
no rapture there. What's he talking about? Rapture? There's no rapture there.
by Tim LaHaye and many other people, but they don't know that verse
Yeah, well, they're idiots. How do you get a rapture out of that?
is referring to a second advent or to a tribulation rapture.
There's no tribulation rapture there. It's talking about the second advent. I don't know where the LaHaye gets getting the idea it's a rapture version. Foul up.
So you got to understand this, is that I'm not going to prove pre-trib rapture here, okay? We're talking about tribulation saints, the bridesmaids. Church age saints, they have their own rapture. Tribulation saints, they have their own rapture as well. So we see one before the tribulation, and we see one sometime after.
And it's not talking about the rapture. So I don't know what he's talking about here. The 144,000 go up. But that's not a conditional rapture because they're sealed.
The tribulation. Because sometime after the tribulation, they're going to join this marriage right there. The bride.
This is talking about the remnant who see the Lord's return. This isn't talking about the 144,000. They come back with the Lord. This is about the remnant of Israel who are going to see the Lord's return.
She's going through a cleaning process here. She's getting herself prepared, which is why she's.
And why would you have watch? Watch, therefore, you know not neither the day nor the hour, whether the Son of Man cometh. Because Rob Waker thinks that's a lie. He thinks you can't find the day and hour. He thinks the Lord's lying there.
Not down there at the tribulation. This is based off. I don't have those. I'm not going to turn to those verses for time's sake. That's proven at 1 Corinthians chapter 3, Ephesians chapter 5, and Revelation chapter 19. Whereas the tribulation.
Yeah, we all know that. That's the churches in heaven. Judgment seat of Christ happening. Day of Christ. But this has nothing to do with the rapture.
Tribulation saints, you're going to notice right here that they go up and then they join. We're going to look at
What tribulation saints? You're talking about 144,000?
Revelation chapter, I think 14 or 15.
At least about 14.
Excuse me. Revelation chapter 14, please. Revelation chapter 14. Now look at this. Notice these virgins up in heaven.
But those virgins aren't the virgins being talked about here. There's a group there that are kept out. This is what happens, people, when we all see make these comparisons that aren't real comparisons. Just because you see the word virgins, it doesn't mean these are the same virgins it's being spoken about. The Lord's speaking about two groups of people. One that's going to be ready and one's not going to be ready. The wise are going to be ready and the foolish won't be. And these are 10 virgins, basically the same attitude that they think because they're Jewish, they're going to get the millennium kingdom. But they have to be saved. And that's why the Lord says, I don't know you.
Revelation chapter 14, verse 3. And they sung, as it were, a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are what? Virgins. Wow.
Okay. See if that happens here? They see the word virgins and say, well, that must be what. No, it's not the same. It's not the same virgins. Why? Because half of them were kept out. All those virgins make it up.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Look at what? Once you read the parable where it says 5 don't make it in, half 5 do and 5 don't. That would mean 144,000 lost half of their virgins, which they clearly don't because they're sealed. You see in Revelation 7, eternal security.
Now look at Revelation 19. Revelation 19.
He's all over the place. Now he's about to Revelation 19. You see how fouled up you can get people when you go off course? The idea of a parable is you look for the central point. You don't try to press every point. The Lord's making a point that the idea is that the time is short in the tribulation period. kingdom of heaven is obviously Jewish. It's going to come a time Gentiles are going to be lost. Many Gentiles are going to be lost because they won't be ready. They've been deceived. That's the day of Noah. And then you've got the issue of the 10 virgins. Likewise, they slumber and slept. And all of a sudden it came upon them like that. And they weren't ready. 5 weren't ready. 5 were.
Revelation chapter 19. And we will read verse 7. Revelation chapter 19. And we will read verse 7. Notice the Bible says, let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the what? Marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife hath made herself ready. See, she was being readied all that time. She was being ready all that time.
Yeah. Was it with the parable of the Matthew 25?
The tribulation saints had something different. Verse 8, and to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white, for the fine linen is the righteousness of saints. Now look at this, verse 9, and he saith unto me, right, blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. Now look at this, it's not just the wife and Jesus. Verse 9, there's an invitation out for these people to join. Why, if it's not church-age saints, because she's the wife of Jesus Christ, who else is it? It's the tribulation saints. How do you know that, Pastor? We saw...
Well, not all the tribulation saints are in heaven. Okay, you have tribulation saints on earth when he comes back who have survived. So why does he have them all pointing up in heaven, going up to heaven? They're not in heaven. There's a remnant waiting for the Lord when he returns. They're the ones that go into the millennium in physical bodies to repopulate the earth along with Gentiles, saved Gentiles. This is the type of nonsense you just makes you shake your head.
Matthew 25. These people.
Oh, he's a great Bible teacher. Yeah, I'll hear from stop attacking Gene Kim. He's gotten so far off course. What does this have to do with the parable of Matthew 25? And he's got tribulation saints going up. What tribulation saints? Not all tribulation saints are going to be in heaven. There's a remnant that greet the Lord when he returns. 144,000 tribulation saints will be up there. And there'll be tribulation martyrs up there. You know that. They weren't raptured. They were martyred. But you got a whole group of people who are going to be here when the Lord returns, Jewish, who greet the Lord and weep when they see him.
Are going up. But you notice there are other people who could not get inside the wedding, right? What did the bridegroom say? I know you not. That's very telling. That proves there's a different salvation there. Why? Because the bridegroom told those virgins, I don't know you. I never knew you.
Yeah, they were Jewish. Just like he told the Jews and the Pharisees, I never knew you, because they weren't believers. They thought they were getting in because of the covenant. Or the covenant gave them automatic access. He's going to say, I don't know you. You weren't believers. You weren't saved.
Look at Matthew chapter 7 in your spare time. What does it say about people who call out, Lord, Lord, Lord? Have not we prophesied in thy name? And Jesus said, I never knew you. Depart from me.
Yeah, they were saved. Doesn't mean they lost their salvation. They weren't saved in the first place.
So this proves right here there's a different salvation.
And who made them a different salvation? Now, one of you Gene Kim people, come to me and show how in this video that shows a different salvation. Where do you see a different salvation? Or you see people who are saved, not saved. He's saying about different salvation.
So based off of Matthew chapter 25.
This is typical Ruckman garbage. Just stretching everything.
And Revelation chapter 19, as well as chapter 14.
See, he's using all these scriptures, and none of them connect. Matthew 25 has nothing to do with Revelation 14. Now, Revelation 19 has to do with Matthew 25 in the sense that the Lord's returning, and these people are going to be, the 5 virgins who are saved are going to greet him. They're the remnant, the Jewish remnant. But that's what it's about. Some Jews are going to be saved, and most of them are going to be lost, 2/3.
You can see right here a different group of people. So these are the bridesmaids. The bridesmaids right here. They are called...
Yeah, they're friends of the bride. but they have nothing to do with the rapture. I need no rapture. There's a remnant waiting for them. That's why they have to watch. They're watching and waiting. They're not in heaven. These guys don't even read it anymore. These are the group they're told to watch and be ready for the Lord's return. And all of the events going on, they're not going to be able to know exactly what day he's coming back.
If you don't believe there is such a thing as a different group of people outside the bride of Jesus who are in the marriage supper, you got a problem with John the Baptist. You know what John the Baptist said at the book of John? He said at John chapter 3 that I'm only the friend of the bridegroom, not the bride. How about that?
Well, that's true. But it has nothing to do with Matthew 25 and the issue of the parable of the virgins. This has to deal with a group of the remnant, the Jews who are not raptured, the 144,000, like he's trying to bring Revelation 14 in, and those group are sealed. This is about a remnant in Israel who won't be ready for the Lord's return because they didn't get saved.
See? So there are different types of saints.
Now, Israel comes under judgment too. One of the judgments is the judgment of Israel.
Dispensationalism is very crux in doctrine. It shows there are
it'd be nice if you stop messing around with it and get it right.
Different kinds of people. There are different time periods and different verses applying to different people, different time periods.
Yeah, we know that. It's had to do 144,000. The rapture of the tribulation of saints.
Dispensationalism is crux to connect all the pieces together, and it makes perfect sense.
You didn't connect anything there. We fouled up everything. So when we stop it here and put this up and show you that. Also, he asked me, Jason asked me, I couldn't answer on your channel, but Daniel's 70th week and what gospel we preach. Gospel of the kingdom will be being preached throughout the tribulation, and because it's an extension. So the gospel of the kingdom, the coming Messiah, and that Jesus Christ is their Messiah, and they will have to believe also. Obviously, will be along with the issue of the salvation of the cross, be involved in that. But they're looking for their Messiah, and that Jesus Christ is the Messiah. So that gospel of the coming kingdom, along with the fact that death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ, along with that fact. And of course, when people get saved in the tribulation, they don't get the same things we get in the church. We're not putting you in the body of Christ, and they are saved Jews, saved Gentiles, but they don't become one body like the church is once the rapture happens. Daniel 7 weeks is the completion of that Old Testament promise dealing with the Jews. But the gospel will be a different gospel from the gospel that's being preached now. It will be a kingdom gospel with the emphasis on Jesus Christ coming as their king. And that will be the emphasis there. But again, going back, Matthew, Kim just gets us all fouled up. And no, that's a remnant. It's not talking about tribulational saints in heaven. He's just talking about and again, talking about eternal security and tribulation. These guys, that 144,000 was sealed. So stop here and put this up. Amen. Thank you.